Okay, the weather is lovely today. To A. To B. I am hoping that the weather is lovely today. So we have different clauses, okay? One inside another one. If the weather is lovely today, then we will go out. And the birds are singing because the weather is lovely today. Those examples is only to demonstrate the possibilities of having one clause or more than one clause inside another. Okay? These lexical categories then form a larger constituent, a phrase. Okay? And phrases go together to form a clause. A clause either is or is part of a well-formed sentence. So we have a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy. Okay? So we have, when you put words in combination, you create a simple phrase. When you put phrases in combination, you have a clause. It's more complex. And you put clauses together, you create a sentence, okay? A more complex and complete sentence. So, determining the lexical categories. Let's understand, or at least try to understand, why a noun is a noun, why a verb is a verb, why an adjective is an adjective, why an adverb is an adverb. So the author asks us, why do we recognize, categorize book as a noun, but kick as a verb? Is there an explanation for that? Okay, we are going to try to study these relationships. To make it more difficult, how do we know that virtue is a noun, or that without is a preposition, and that well is an adverb in one meaning? Qual é a razão para o verbo ser um verbo, o nome ser um nome, o verbo ser um verbo? A gente vai tentar analisar isso aí from now on. Okay, there are three criteria in the plural to analyze these conditions. Okay, the meaning. The second criterion is morphological form, and the third criterion is syntactic function. Let's see which is one of them are better to analyze these relationships. Okay, using meaning, the first criterion. Okay, here we have some terms, like some letters that represents grammatical classes, like N represents nouns, V represents verbs, A represents adjective, and ADV represents adverb. Okay, it's a formal definition in syntax. So, noun is referring to an individual or entity. So, something that refers to an individual or entity is a noun. Verb definition. Verb definition is referring to an action. So, if you are referring to an action, that action is a verb. Okay. C. Adjective. Adjective is referring to a property. If you are giving some qualities for something to a property, probably that it would be an adjective. And D. Adverb, referring to the manner, location, time, or frequency of an action. So this is the behavior of an adverb. Okay, but we can find those definitions in the traditional grammar. But sometimes we can find some words that really don't follow those rules. Okay, and there is a problem with that. Let's see what kind of problem is that. Okay. For example, there is a problem if we consider only the meaning. Okay. If you want to analyze words using the meaning to say, this is a noun, this is a verb, this is an adjective, it's dangerous sometimes because of words like that. Sincerity. Sincerity is a noun. But do you remember the definition of what is a noun? Let's see. Noun referring to an individual or entity. But sincerity is not an individual. It is not an entity too. Sincerity is something abstract. I don't know if it is a feeling. No, it's not a feeling. It's a kind of attitude. Okay? So, sincerity is a noun, but it's not inside of that rules. So, it's a problem for grammar to explain. Okay? Happiness, it's a noun. Pain, it's a noun. So, they do not simply denote an individual or entity. So, they are not in these definitions. So, it's a problem, but they are nouns. How can we explain that? How the traditional grammar can or could explain it? So, meaning is not so good to analyze the grammatical classes. Okay? Another example is like absence, ausência, or loss, perda. Né? Loss. For example, if you want to lose some weight, você quer perder peso. Né? Então, these definitions are very abstract too. Okay? So, let's. Tu viu a primeira piada? As menininhas encontram lá a balança pela primeira vez, né? Ela diz, não suba, isso aí faz a gente chorar. Né? Geralmente em relação às mulheres, né? Tem mais trauma com balança, né? Tem um grilo no ovo e liga muito. A maioria das mulheres tem um cri-cri com balança, né? Bom, as mais gordinhas pelo menos. Don't step on it, it makes you cry, vai fazer você chorar. Okay. Another way to analyze those grammatical classes is through morphological form. Okay, the meaning is not so good to analyze. Okay? But let's try the morphological strategy. A more reliable approach is to characterize words in terms of their forms and functions. Let's understand how. According to these frames, okay, where the word in question goes in the place indicated by underscore, underline, nouns allow the plural making suffix es to be attached, or the possessive apostrophe s, whereas verbs can have the past tense ed or the third singular form es. Ele vai só explicar aí as possibilidades de inflexão, ou seja, de alteração, de colocar um S, retirar, de colocar um ED no passado, retirar, vamos ver. For example, in relation to nouns, tem uma palavra no singular que vai colocar no plural, então você vai acrescentar um morfema de plural, que seria o ES, para no caso palavras terminadas em O, né? For example, potato, if you want to create the plural, you have to put to the noun the plural morpheme, like es, potatoes, batatas. In relation to possessive, okay, to nouns, you have to put the apostrophe s to indicate the possess, okay. Tim's flat, Tim's apartment. When you put the apostrophe s, it's like one kind of the. You give the possession for the possessor. So Tim is the owner of this flat. Okay, Tim is the owner of this flat. So this flat or this apartment belongs to Tim. Okay. C. Now it is in relation to verbs. Past tense, like using ed, or third singular conjugations using es. For example, he walked in the past. If you want to use this term in the past, you have to add ed. Okay? Faltou um aqui, né? My bad. Walked. Okay? Or in the present, in the third person. He, she, it. She walks. She walks. Okay? So, for morphological form, we classify if a noun is a noun or a verb is a verb, observing these rules, okay? Because to put ed or s in a noun, no, s is common, but ed is not so common, okay? Ed is a characteristic of a verb in the past, okay? Let's see another example. This man has a clock, and he says that it works. Ele funciona. The clock. Okay? Oh, yes, the clock. Because a lot of people know watch. Já faço confusão. Watch, o clock seria de parede. Isso mesmo. Ok. It works. Okay? Então a gente percebe aqui que essa regra do S funciona para verbos nas terceiras pessoas. A gente tira it. In relation to adjectives, so we can't find terminations ER or EST in verbs, for example. It's a natural characters of adjectives to say that in that sentence something is more than, or have more something, okay? É comparativo de superioridade. Quando você acrescenta o ER ou o EST, nessa aqui você tem fast, rápido, você coloca a terminação ER, o sufixo ER, você vai dizer que é mais rápido. É uma estratégia do inglês. No português a gente usa o more, né, o mais. No inglês, quando a palavra é monossílaba, né, as palavras pequenininhas, eles colocam o ER. A partir de 3 sílabas, 2, 3 sílabas, tem que recordar isso. Palavras maiores, eles usam o more, mas para palavras pequenas, monossílabas, eles usam, e até de sílabas, eu acredito, eles usam a terminação. Tá? E aqui o S é para dizer que é o mais, é o mais rápido de todos. Aqui é mais rápido, acrescenta uma velocidade, mas aqui é o mais rápido de todos, sem questionar. Okay? And the last one, for adjectives, the use of ly. Okay? It's not common to use ly in noun in verbs. No, this is the characteristic of an adjective or adverb. Okay. So we have some examples here. So for nouns, we can observe some common rules. Vocês me digam a hora quando chegar aí, viu? Quando você ladinho, né? Dá pra perceber. Trains, actors, rooms. Here we are treating about plural. And there we are treating about possession. Man's house, a casa do homem. Sisters, brother, o irmão da irmã, enfim, and so on. In relation to verb, we have terminations like representing the simple past, devoured, left, okay, and the conjugation of the third persons. He, she, it. Divorced, left, etc. In relation to adjectives, we have fuller, mais cheio, fullest, o mais cheio, more careful, ó, palavra maior, então não usa mais uma R, usa more. More careful, mais cuidadoso. Mais cuidadoso, aqui, the most careful, o mais cuidadoso de todos. And so on, okay? And here in relation to adjective and adverbs. What is the problem of using morphological strategies to define or to separate these classes? The morphological properties of each lexical category cannot be overridden, subestimadas. Né? Verbs cannot have plural making, nor can adjectives have this making. Aquela coisa, tem regras que não funcionam com o adjetivo, e tem regras que não funcionam com o verbo, e aí sucessivamente. Regras só funcionam especificamente para cada classe. Okay? We have some examples like fish, information, furniture, love, and pain. They do not have a plural form as nouns. So you don't say, I went to the supermarket and I bought 3 fishes. No, it's incorrect. 3 fish. Fish don't receive any plural mark. Okay, like furniture, like information, like love and pain. Strange, but there are some exceptions. Okay, so in this way, morphological strategy is not a perfect way to explain those rules because we have some exceptions. So it's complicated to explain because of these exceptions. So morphological is not so good. There are adjectives such as absent and circular that do not have comparative using er, or superlative est forms, devido or due to their meanings. Então, aquelas regras que a gente viu que classificam os adjetivos, no comparativo de superioridade, não funciona para esses mesmos adjetivos, são exceções. Então complica a vida desse tipo de estratégia de explicação. The morphological form-based criterion is not a necessary and sufficient condition for determining the type of lexical categories. So it's not enough. The most reliable criterion is judging the lexical category of a word is based on its syntactic function or distributional possibilities. So we are going to try to use a syntactic strategy to classify the classes. For example, let us try to determine what kind of lexical categories can occur in the following environment. Did you know that let us is the expression let's? Like let's go? Did you know? Usually we say, let's go, let's practice, let's do it. Okay? It's the abbreviation of let us. Vamos nós fazer alguma coisa. Né? Vocês já não sabem, interessante, né? Let us. It's the formal way, and let's is the informal, or the abbreviation of let us. É como se vamos todos nós fazer alguma coisa. Let's. Okay? Curiosity. Okay, guys, tell me, using your intuition, what kind of grammatical class we can use here to complete this sentence, okay? Não é necessário dizer a palavra, mas professor, eu acho que nessa primeira encaixa melhor um nome, ou um substituto, um adjetivo, ou um verbo. O que você acha? Que tipo de classe, usando a intuição aí de nativos de vocês, né, do português mesmo, caberia melhor em cada um? Aí eu vou abrindo ali para ver se vai. Se é N, se é adjetivo, é V. Não? Primeira não? They have no problem, for example, né? Problem could be a noun. Very good. Vamos lá, os colegas agora. The second. B. They can, usando a nossa gramática interna, o que provavelmente caberia aí? Que classe caberia aí? Não cabe mais um nome, eu acho. Ele botou um para cá. Se eu não me engano. Essa bateria está só caindo.
Acho que é um verbo.
You think that a verb is okay? Let's see. They can swim. Yes. Verb. Excellent. Let us see. They read the book. Eu não sei se tinha alguma lacuna. Acho que tinha uma lacuna aí. Eu não sei exatamente onde era a lacuna. Vamos ver se a gente chuta e acerta, né? Mas eu acho que tinha uma lacuna. Não sei se no meio da frase ou no final. Yes. Adjective? Eu acho que talvez tivesse uma lacuna aqui, é que eu esqueci de colocar. Né? Vamos ver se é esse mesmo. Yes, very good. Excellent. They read a great book, a big book, a boring book, okay? D. He treats John very probably well or bad, né? Adverb. Tem que ver onde é a lacuna que ele queria também. Eu acho que eu não coloquei. My bad. But. And the last one, he walked right the wall. Acho que é uma preposição. He walked right, acho que é aqui. In the wall, or on the wall, né? Na calçada. Bom, parede. Ó, agora a infeliz apareceu, né? Mas sua intuição foi boa, até para achar o lugar do adjetivo, né? Olha aí. A outra. Não, fiz mal feito, sabe? Mas tudo bem. Valeu a intenção de você. Vocês acertaram todos, na verdade, né? The categories that can go with the blanks, the spaces, are noun, the combination, the correct sequence. Noun, verb, adjective, adverb, and preposition. As can be seen in the datum 7, where only one lexical category can appear in each position. For example, comparing with those blankets, they have no TV. Here is a case of a noun. Or they have no car, they have no information, they have no friends. So, for this example, only nouns are possible normally. Okay? For example, if you put a verb in the blanket that we can use for a noun, the sentence will be wrong. Okay? For example, they have no weight. Weight é foi, né? They have no in. Ele tem nenhum entra, né? Não dá. They have no old. Ele tem nenhum velho. No português vai, mas no inglês não. Velho o quê, né? Okay? And so on. So the position of the verb has a fixed way. 8. They can sing or they can run, they can smile, they can stay, they can cry, using the rules you described. Yeah? But they can't happy. Yeah, they can be happy, but they can happy, it's not good. They can down. No. They can be down, for example. They can door. Eles podem porta. Eles podem fazer porta, mas eles não podem porta. Né? And so on. The Beatles. 9. They read the big book, or they read the new book. They read the interesting book, or they read the scientific book. Okay? You can use a lot of adjectives, but you can't use verbs in the adjective blanket. Okay? All of these examples is only to demonstrate that the language has its own organization, and you can't try to make modifications on it. Okay? Arbitrarily. 10. He treats Snoopy very nicely, or very badly, okay? Or very kindly, carinhosamente. But we can't say he treats Snoopy very kind, or very shamed, or very under. Não combina. He walked right into on the wall. Né? Or into or on, né? Ele caminhou bem em direção à parede. Ou ele caminhou sobre a parede. Né? Depende do exemplo que você quiser mostrar. No caso aí foi into the wall, ele foi direto na parede. But you can't say he walked right there, or he walked right happier, and so on. Some considerations to do. As shown here, only a restricted set of lexical categories can occur in each position. We can then assign a specific lexical category to these elements. TV, car, information, and frame are considered nouns. Sing, run, by verbs. Big, new, interesting, and scientific. So we could prove why TV, car, information, and frame are nouns, because they behavior and they can stay only in noun positions and noun blankets. Okay? Adverbs like nicely, badly, kindly, and prepositions like in, into, on, under, over, and so on. Does English have other lexical categories? We have studied here nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions. Can you identify another kind of grammatical classes? Come on. Eu pago ele só de enfeite, né? Porque eu quebrei o vídeo dele, aí às vezes eu tenho um sobrinho que é um capetinho, né? Eu boto o dedo no relógio e paro.